I'm very much a public transit person. I really believe that the private passenger vehicle is not sustainable at all. We have to, because ultimately we're towards the end of people owning their own cars unless they actually need it. They're electricians or plumbers, and part of that system part of public transit is having a very vigorous taxi system with vouchers for people who cannot take public transit. I'm totally for that. I'm totally for rich people taking taxis all the time and paying for it. But private passenger vehicles, it doesn't work. That we all have this great big hunk of metal, you know, fueled by this substance that is so powerful. You know how much horsepower 1 gallon of gasoline is? It's equal to one adult man working 1 month. That's the amount of power in a gallon of gasoline. And to waste that for one person to schlep around in this giant pile of metal, it's absurd. It's insane. Sadly, very against it.
Why?
Well, for one thing, it makes the transit from Bayview and Visitation Valley worse. So the concept that we are creating this benefit for Chinatown by taking something away from another community that has suffered really lousy public transit doesn't fly with me, because now, instead of a direct connection to Market and Muni and BART through the T goes past all those things to Union Square, and people who take it have to walk back through a very long tunnel to the Powell Street station. That doesn't make sense to me. And of course, people taking it from one stop from Chinatown, they also have to walk through that tunnel. So the connection is ridiculous. And even the figures the official figures of that MTA has, the increased ridership and the ridership from Chinatown, it's just not that much. And also, we are on the hook for any cost overrun and in the building of it. And to say, don't worry, there won't be a cost overrun, which is what they're saying, it's very difficult to guarantee that, considering that almost every single project that big ends up, once it is started in construction, costing more. And then there's also the question of maintaining the subway at this time when Muni is having more and more cuts. So, and Muni right now, I had a press conference about this actually at the location of the Union Square station, and some Muni drivers came to protest it also because they feel that they are working in unsafe conditions right now. And one of these men has suffered harassment for objecting to it. So, you know, and we saw, you know, there was the death of a pedestrian just recently because a driver without any experience was rerouted without any help, you know, through the Castro. I mean, that's crazy. Those streets are so steep and difficult for even a car sometimes. I mean, I actually, turning around on one of those streets, I backed into a car, you know, I had a stick shift. So the idea of a novice bus driver making it, wandering around, I mean, it was a tragedy that was caused by Muni not having enough resources. So that's why I'm against the Central Subway. If it goes forward, and I guess that's going to be decided pretty soon, I pray that I'm wrong. I pray that everybody else is right. But I feel strongly enough about it that I had a press conference about it. Any Muni line. Well, I have a great affection for the jay because it goes kind of through people's backyards, and it goes on the top of Dolores. It's the only one that goes sort of in between houses above ground, you know, and you can look into people's backyards. And also it goes on the top of Dolores Park, and you have that wonderful panorama of the city. That's one of my favorite views of the city. So I'm very fond of the F because it makes it possible for me to go to Fisherman's Wharf late at night to clubs, music clubs, and come back all the way to the Castro where I live on one tram, you know. So that's a great trip too. I mean, it's long, but it's really nice. Except if you get one of those Milan streetcars that are so beautiful but have this wooden ridge. I mean, come on. Man, once you've ridden a long time on those, like when you see it, you think, why did the people of Milan allow these things to be taken away? They're so adorable. And then when you ride on it a couple miles, you know you were willing to get rid of them.